If you could choose again, would you still skip a protein-rich breakfast and ride the pain and fatigue all day? There's one thing many people with fibromyalgia don't realize. Eating the right foods at the right times can turn down the pain dial. You may have tried plenty of meds and still wake up like you ran a marathon. The good news is we don't need extreme diets, just 6 sustainable habits. A Mediterranean-style plate, enough protein spread across meals, more omega-3s, a 2-week trial of lowering free glutamate, a brief low-FODMAP approach if your gut is sensitive, and daily anti-inflammatory spices. Each step comes with specific numbers so you can track progress. Let's be direct about one myth. Fibromyalgia isn't just in your head and food isn't irrelevant. What you eat shapes blood sugar, low-grade inflammation, glutamate signaling, and the gut microbiome, direct lines to how your body perceives pain. First, picture your nervous system like an amplifier. In fibromyalgia, the gain knob is cranked up. Roller coaster blood sugar and excitatory molecules like glutamate are like sparks that make the amp buzz. Every bump feels like a blow. Second, low-grade inflammation is a thin smoke in the house. Not a blaze, but enough to sting your eyes. Polyphenols from vegetables, olive oil, and omega-3s act like a fan that clears that smoke. Third, the gut-brain axis is a hotline. When your gut is gassy, slow, and out of balance, your brain gets constant false alarms. Fixing meals, fiber, and gentle fermented dairy helps quiet the line. Now for the practical plan. 6 things you can start today with concrete targets. At main meals, build a Mediterranean-style plate daily. Half the plate colorful vegetables, a quarter lean protein, a quarter whole grain or starchy carbs. Add extra virgin olive oil, about 7 to 10 milliliters per main meal. Target total fiber at 30 to 35 grams per day. If you love classic creamy American salads, swap to a big veggie base plus real olive oil and lemon, not sugary creamy dressings. When time is tight, use frozen vegetables and canned beans rinsed under water to cut sodium, cheap and fast. Distribute protein evenly through the day to feed muscle and fight fatigue. Aim for protein at 3 main meals, roughly 0.3 to 0.4 g per kilogram per meal, totaling about 1.2 day, unless your clinician says otherwise. For a 70 person, that's 20-30 grams per meal. Eggs with Greek yogurt, chicken breast, fish, or tofu. Aim for at least 2 to 3 grams of leucine from food per meal to flip on muscle building. Quick swaps, Greek yogurt on $170 with nuts for breakfast. If dairy is an issue, go with pan-seared tofu or 20-25 of lactose-free whey. Money-saving tip, stock green beans, edamame, and mixed veg in the freezer. Good price year-round. Add omega-3s through food 3 times weekly. 2 servings of fatty fish like salmon or sardines or 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax or chia daily if you don't eat fish. Averaged across the week, aim around 1 to 1.5 grams of EPA plus DHA per day from foods. If you're considering a supplement, clear it with your clinician first, especially if you take blood thinners. Swap ideas. Switch sardines and oil to sardines canned in water, quick rinse, then mash into whole grain toast with olive oil, lemon, and pepper. Try reducing free glutamate for 2 weeks to remove the sparks. For 14 days, read labels and avoid MSG, aspartame, hydrolyzed protein, yeast extract, and ultra-savory bottled sauces. Cook at home with salt, pepper, garlic, and low-sodium soy sauce or coconut aminos. After 2 weeks, reintroduce 1 item at a time to see which foods trigger flares. Swap, instant pho, plain rice noodles boiled at home plus homemade chicken stock seasoned with low-sodium fish sauce, ginger, and scallions. If you're often bloated, gassy, or have IBS, consider a simplified low-FODMAP trial for 2 to 4 weeks with dietitian guidance. Choose low-FODMAP fruits like strawberries and blueberries, leafy greens, carrots, squash, carbs from oats and reheated cooked rice, proteins like eggs and firm tofu. Then reintroduce 1 group at a time to pinpoint culprits. Swap. A glass of apple juice becomes half a cup of blueberries with a small handful of walnuts. Remember, 1 glass of apple juice can equal 4 to 5 apples. Use anti-inflammatory spices daily. Turmeric with black pepper and olive oil for better absorption. Ginger for stir fries, cinnamon in morning oats. Target 1 to 2 teaspoons of spice powders a day from foods. If you're thinking extracts, only with clinician approval because high doses can affect the liver or interact with meds. Swap plain pan-seared chicken. Chicken with turmeric, lemon, olive oil, sweet tea, hot ginger tea. I want to hear from you now. How old are you, and which step will you try first this week? Mediterranean plate or 2 weeks of lower glutamate? Type yes if you'll start tonight. For vegetarians or flexitarians, keep the same Mediterranean framework. Proteins include tofu, tempeh, lentils, and Greek yogurt if you eat dairy. If fully plant-based, consider lactose-free whey or 20-30 g or pea protein in the morning. Omega-3s. Prioritize ground flax, 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, and chia soaked in unsweetened plant milk. Consider an algae oil supplement if advised by your clinician when fish is off the table. If you're on metformin, choose a protein and fiber-rich breakfast to flatten glucose spikes. After main meals, walk 10 to 20 minutes to blunt the peak. Check vitamin B12 every 6-12 months because metformin can lower B12. Replace only if low as directed. Swap sugary cereal, oats with unsweetened milk, chia, and cinnamon. If you have mild CKD, keep anti-inflammatory foods but match protein to your clinician's targets. Avoid going overboard. Favor small portions of fatty fish, extra virgin olive oil, and lower potassium vegetables if instructed. Use culinary amounts of spices like turmeric and ginger. Avoid self-prescribing herbal concentrates. Keep sodium under 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams a day if advised. If you're lactose intolerant, choose lactose-free Greek yogurt or kefir, or shift to tofu, tempeh, and lactose-free whey isolate. Still hit 20-30 grams protein per meal. If you need sodium restriction, read labels closely. Replace bottled sauces with olive oil, lemon, and pepper. Use dried herbs for flavor. Rinse canned beans and canned fish underwater to cut sodium meaningfully. Target 2,000 milliliters on sodium day if your clinician recommends. A few foundation rules for staying consistent. Hydration, about 30 milliliters per kilogram per day. Unless you've been told to restrict, spread it out. Flat glucose. Whenever you eat starch, pair it with protein, fiber, and healthy fat. Skip juices, choose whole fruit. Sleep. Avoid eating within 1 hour of bedtime. Keep a steady sleep schedule. Rhythm. Eat at regular times and spread energy across the day to reduce that late afternoon battery empty feeling. I know you're busy. Here's the 10-minute prep version. On weekends, cook a pot of lentils with carrots, celery, and tomatoes. Portion into containers. Boil a batch of eggs. Pre-wash a tub of salad greens. Mix a jar of olive oil, lemon, garlic dressing. During the week, 5 minutes gets you a bowl of lentils, plus greens, egg, solid protein, and fiber. At this point, you've got a pain-reducing meal framework. Mediterraneanize your plate, spread protein, bring in omega-3s, trial lower glutamate for 2 weeks, consider low-FODMAP if your gut is reactive, and season with anti-inflammatory spices daily. While you're choosing your first step, drop a comment. Have you tried omega-3s or cutting MSG before? What happened for you? Safety notes. Before low FODMAP trials or any supplements, talk with your clinician or a dietitian, especially if you have kidney or liver disease, bleeding disorders, pregnancy, or take anticoagulants. If you're considering higher dose omega-3s, concentrated curcumin, or magnesium, check interactions first. Take vitamin D only if deficient and at prescribed doses. Benefits are clearest when a true deficiency exists. Track weight, waist, sleep quality, energy, and a simple pain score weekly so you can see trends. Do not stop or change medications on your own. To sum up, we're not chasing fads, we're building an anti-inflammatory, glucose-steady plan that calms pain signaling. 6 small steps done steadily can dial down that amplifier week by week. If this helped, tell me your age and which step you'll start in the next 7 days. Hit follow for a budget 1-week sample menu and shopping list, and share this with someone living with chronic pain. Bottom line, fibromyalgia is tough, not hopeless. Every meal is a chance to hurt less. Start tonight. Half a plate of veggies, a spoon of olive oil, and 10 minutes of walking after dinner. Content is for education, not a substitute for personalized medical advice. Do not stop or change medications on your own. If you have underlying conditions, kidney, cardiovascular, pregnancy, on blood thinners, etc., Consult your clinician before applying this.